Hey guys, how are you? I finally had a day to come out to the garden and show you what's been going on. I don't know if you can see this haze. It's not fog. This is smoke from the Canadian fires, and today and yesterday have been the worst that we have gotten to this point. It is very surreal. It is, if you're outside for any length of time, it does make it a little challenging to breathe for a normal person, let alone if you have health issues. So if you're in the area or if you have this, stay indoors, close your windows, do the best you can. It really kind of sucks for everybody. I can only imagine what it's like up in Canada where this stuff is supposed to be from. I think today is the quietest our animals have been. You can't hear the chickens or the ducks unless you go up and spook them or surprise them. So they don't like it either. But I'm going to get to the garden here. I thought I'd give you an update. It's been a little while since I've been out here, and you can see everything has exploded. We finally got some rain, and that helped so much. So let me get you turned around here, and I'll go walk you through, and then I'll take you up to the herb garden so you can see how that's doing up there. Okay, so last time you were out here with me, this area was our hotbed where we started our seeds and stuff. We have since transplanted everything in the garden, and it is the squash, the zucchini, and yellow squash, and I think butternut. I think the pumpkin's in the back, so we'll see. I have yet to map this out so that we have a guide for what we did each year. As you can see, our potatoes are growing so good. These are, at most everything we have tried to start from seed. I will tell you that we had to get some as plants because they just did not want to take. You can see this is our 2 rows of peas, and we have already gotten about 4 gallons. It's insane. 4 gallons of shelled peas this year. I'm not complaining. It is wonderful. I think that equates to what is it, 7 or 8 gallons of whole pea pods from when they were picked. So if that helps you figure out how much that was, so we got about half once we shelled them. So those are getting put up in the freezer, and they are very yummy. So last year, we normally take some cabbage and put it in the freezer for cabbage and kielbasa and things like that. But I also, for the first time, did coleslaw. And I'm telling you, we loved it. So I got my husband to plant not a half a row, but an entire row. And they are taking off so wonderfully. And you can see the onions there, right next to them here. And then these, I want to say are, what are these? I can't quite remember. Obviously it's growing. We have our sunflowers, and then there's more cabbage down there. So this obviously I think needs to be weeded a little bit more, but we've been trying to keep up on it. It's been a little challenging. We've just been trying to keep up with watering and keep things hydrated enough to grow. So this is my peppers here, and I think that other row is possibly more peppers. My husband planted some varieties that I can't remember it all right now. But we have 3 kinds of bell peppers. We've got serranos, pepperoncinis, jalapenos, things like that. So these are more peppers, and then we've got some tomato plants sporadically down this way and a whole row. We did have to replace some because when we transplanted them, they just did not take. So we ended up just going to the local nursery and getting a few fill-ins in that. So it really, sometimes you just have to buy it from the plant. Our beans are doing really, really well, as you can tell. You can see down the row there, they are a little struggling, but I think with the rain that we've gotten, things might start looking up. It's been really, really dry. I think we went 5 or 6 weeks without any measurable rain at a critical time in planting and gardening. And so that really kind of put a damper on things. So here's, I guess this is the zucchini. I think the other end is just all yellow squash, and I think the pumpkin is down there. If not, the pumpkin might be down at the end of this row. As I said, I haven't had a chance to really dive in here. My husband's been doing a lot of this because I've been focusing on the kids in the 4-H fair, which is going on now. So it's just been a little crazy. We have a few more days and then we'll be done with that. You'll see the 2 tall corn stalks there. Those we planted several weeks ago. Anyway, we planted those and only those 2 came up out of the 3 rows. And so, let me see if I can get a good shot. So you can see the other ones are quite a bit shorter. So we're hoping that at least they took this time. We think it was just mostly the lack of water. And again, a garden this size, sometimes it's just really a struggle to get the water in the right places. It sometimes out here is a little challenging because the wind will take the water from where you would like it to go and throw it somewhere else, because this is a calm day, and so sometimes it's hard to film outside because the wind gets to be so bad. And you'll see the asparagus back there. We had a decent year, and I'm hoping for more and more each year. At least we didn't have to start from scratch, because I left behind a 10-year asparagus bed. If anybody has asparagus, you know how much it takes to cultivate it and to wait and be patient. And then I'm going to show you what we did with the strawberry bed. So I don't know. I think last time it really wasn't planted a whole lot. I think we got a couple of strawberry plants, like 2 or 3. But we lowered that end over there, the far end, and because it was raised pretty high, so we dropped it down and added more good soil and planted a few over there, and it just really has taken off. And we've put a netting. This is just a farm netting. I don't know. You can probably get it at your local farm shop. Netting, and there's a weight of a stick at the bottom to hold it down, and it's anchored to the fence over there, just to keep the birds out so that we have a chance to get some strawberries. Last year they just did not do as well, and I think it was because the birds were picking them off, and the raised bed just never really, I think it was just lost all the nutrients out of the water, or out of the soil, because it would just pour out the bottom. So after a while, all your nutrients are gone out of your soil. So I'm going to pan over here, and you can see some of our turkeys. Some of our babies are growing. And then there's one over here. What are you guys doing? They're just chilling and hanging out. So I'm going to bring you up to the herb garden and show you what's going on up there. Okay, so from last time you saw this, you could tell it has grown. I love it. Again, we have been out here like every day trying to make sure everything has enough water. It's been a challenge at times, but I will go down the list here and show you. This is one of my original oregano plants, and it's just growing beautifully this year. If you can tell how big it is. And then right next to it, you'll see right about here is what I'm going to call offshoots. Both oregano plants re-sprouted this year, but because we had a warm front and everything was nice, and then we got some frost one night, and one plant was just killed off with frost. So I was happy to see that this other one just kind of sprouted back up. It took a little bit longer, and hopefully it'll catch up to the first one. And if you're wondering, these are blooms, and it's at this point in my life, it's just hard to keep up. And I just take them off. You don't really want it to bloom because it's going to focus more on the bloom than it is the leaf and the flavor and everything. Here's another one. But these are edible. You can eat these. You can chop them up, dry them, throw them in your food, and that the whole plant is edible, and it smells amazing. So, in next, I'm going to tell you we have the chives, and these two are ones that I've had since last year, and I'm about ready to clip them, and they'll grow back. But I'm about ready to harvest them. I am disappointed that in front of them I had planted some chives seeds, and it didn't take. I don't know what is with the seeds this year. I honestly don't, because some of them are taking, and a good deal of them that we've had to replace. It's been a little frustrating, but my next thing is maybe to get a couple more chive plants, because I want to fill this whole area in front up to the rocks here with a couple more chive plants. In the back is supposed to be parsley. Yes, parsley's back there. So that did not take as seed wise. So I have more seeds that I need to plant down there. And the rosemary I did buy as a plant form because it just is easier that way. But the chives, the cilantro up here, you can tell this is all planted from seed, and it started out slow, but once we got and that was with me watering it like every day. When we got this rain, it just shot up in the last 2 days, so it's been surprisingly good. You'll see a rogue dill every now and again. This guy here, we had a dill plant that kind of fell over last year, and he kind of just spread his seeds everywhere, and we're just, I'm like, hey, I'll take it. The thyme, that is from last year. It is blooming all over the place, and I have not had a chance to get out here to kind of cull that back. And I will show you in front of the thyme is supposed to be more cilantro, and it's just not. So it kind of came up over here. I'm happy about that, but it didn't come up over here. So I'm not sure why. But I will hopefully get to harvest the chives and maybe top off and, prune some of the thyme that I have here. And you'll see more, I don't know if you can see that on camera, there's some more dill back there. And then right here is my basil cluster, and it's finally started growing. Basil loves nitrogen, and I have yet to fertilize it with some nitrogen. So I'm going to get some liquid nitrogen and water it with that, and it should shoot right up. So that was started from seed. You'll see a couple more rogue, where is it? Right there. Dill plants. But, you know, again, we're just letting those grow. And right here, you'll see it's kind of fallen over and I need to brace it up. This is second year parsley. It's a biennial. And what it is these seed heads, these are flower heads. And these are going to flower like it is over there. And then they're going to turn brown and die out, so to speak. And that's your seed. So I'm letting this go this year because the flavor is just not there. Once it goes to seed, the flavor is not there. So between that and the cilantro over here, this is all second year cilantro, and so I'm letting it seed. I'm going to have a lot of cilantro seed. So I will have seeds for those two to put back for next year. In between, because it will grow, and I will thin this out as it grows. This is sage, and I planted that from seed, and I'm happy to see that it is coming up. Let me see if I can get in there. You can see that really well. So it is coming up really, really well. Finally, again, with the water, it's been a trial and error with this year. And that. So this is on the one side of our porch. It's along the house line there. And so on the other, this is my daughter's sage. She started it this year, and she will be taking care of that all year long and growing it for next year's fair. So she put a basil plant in that is beautiful. I will see if I can't insert a clip of it so that you can see what she did in a pot. You do not need to put these things in the ground. You can put them in pots, and as long as you take care of them, water them, fertilize them, and give them plenty of light, they will grow for you. It's going to be a challenge because when we bring them inside for the winter, the cats like to snack on some of our plants. So I'm going to have to try to find a spot for that. So I'm going to show you this area right here, this whole area. I planted lavender and chamomile seeds. Not one. Nothing came up. And over here in the back, I had planted lavender seed or lemongrass. Nothing came up. Absolutely nothing. So I don't know if it's something that I did, it's something that they needed, and I just did not, get to it. I don't know. Could be many things, and sometimes that happens. So again, there is no shame. You do not have to start your plants from seeds. Do not feel guilty for going and buying a plant. Is it nice to start it from a seed? Absolutely, because you know that you nurtured it and you grew it from the beginning. But sometimes it just doesn't work out. So actually, you can see the 3 there in the back are lavender, and I actually got those from Walmart on clearance. So I think I paid like half price for them. So that was kind of nice. And then the 2 up front are chamomile. So I went and got those at full price. I think they were like $4 a piece, which wasn't too bad. But I grabbed them because I was there. So if you have to buy your plants, don't worry. It's okay. A lot of people start out that way. And then over here, I went and bought lemongrass. I bought the only one they had on clearance. And I split it so that it would hopefully, I'm hoping that it takes. We'll see. And hopefully it will just kind of flourish and produce more of itself because that's the whole point over there. This is my growing mint bed here. They have finally started really taking off. You can see it's getting thicker. We planted this last year with a few mint and spearmint plants that we bought, and then my mother-in-law gave me a ton of them so that I could you know, plant them and kind of grow my bed faster. Hers had taken off to astronomical proportions. She actually has what my herb garden is. She has that in mint, just because over the past couple years. So just know if you do mint, it is invasive. You will have it growing, and I have no doubt that it will spread, but that's okay with me because we will just have more mint tea, more mint extract, things like that. So I'm going to take you up on the porch and show you the tree I bought. Hold on. Okay, so you can see my petunia waves and my fern. I absolutely love my porch. My husband got the swing done and up for me, so after 4-H and all the crazy, I will be absolutely sitting out here, hopefully without this smoke, and just enjoying the weather, the evenings, the mornings, the nice weather. Let's see, right over there, that is my daughter's second basil plant. She started that one from seed, and then you've got my aloe. So I don't know, let me see if I can get up closer to it. I don't know if she's going to maybe enter this one or the other one, but you can see how well it's growing in a pot. She just planted it in a circle so that it had plenty of room, and she just has been taking care of it, taking very good care of it. So again, another petunia wave, and then my bay laurel. Again, we have another bench over here. I have not organized my porch. That's been kind of a secondary. My bay laurel, now you can see it is struggling in this weather. It's just not doing that great. I'm hoping to do my best to save it because I absolutely love bay leaves, and that's the whole point of having this. This one is not cold tolerant. It is more drought tolerant, but not, and I've been watering it. So I've been watering it sparsely because you don't want to overwater it, but I think it probably needs some fertilizer and some more water. But we're going to have to bring this inside, so I'll probably, depending on how tall it grows, I'll have to prune it back and bring it inside for the winter. My husband just looked at me and shook his head. So, yeah. Okay, so as I said, it's hard to breathe out here after a while. So I'm sitting down. That is the extent of my herb garden and our vegetable garden this year so far. You can kind of hear, I don't know if you can hear the rooster. The rooster's finally crowing and talking. It's so, there he goes. It's kind of odd that they're just not as vocal as they are on an average day. So I'm pretty sure it's the atmosphere. It just does not invite a whole lot of movement, a whole lot of activity, because it is so hazy and so bad. My younger son came home yesterday with coughing and stuffy nose, watery eyes, things like that. So it's rough. But that is what I have for you as far as an update on my gardens, and I hope that yours are growing well as well. If you have questions, feel free to drop them down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.